Hi, this is Lady Lex UK, and this is a Dreams Tools tutorial. We're working our way through Sculpt mode and its tool section, and we've got to Looseness. Now, before I talk about this particular tool and what it does, let me just show you how Looseness is normally applied in the Dreamverse. So I've got a stamp shape here, and before I stamp it down, I can change the looseness of my sculpt. So if you press L1 and square to get into this menu, you'll see that the sculpt's got a slightly loose amount on it, but it still looks quite firm. But you can move that down and crisp it up a bit. It won't show up very much to the eye, but that has added some firmness to it. But if you grab it and push it up, and then we'll get, it has a stop here at this is the default, and then you can move it up like that, and you can see you can make it really very, very loose indeed. Now, there's not an awful lot of fine control with this method, because you have to move it up with your imp, and it's very difficult to get a specific number on this with those particular tool options here. So that's one way. The other way is to stamp your object down already, scope out of it, and we can use its tweak menu. So we can go L1 and square on the object, go to Fleck properties, and we can change the looseness here. There we go. A little bit more control this time. We've got percentages, and so you can get it to a number you want. Also, don't forget, with the tweak menus, they are inputs, so you can input a number dynamically during the game to change the looseness of an object, so you can make it look completely different at any point. So this is quite a good way of changing the looseness, and also you've got a number there that you can use on lots of objects. So you can get the same amount of looseness on everything, so it all looks similar. So there we go. So there's the looseness tool. The other way is to use the style mode. So we choose looseness, and we press R2 over the object, and it changes the looseness the longer you hold it down. And then we can revert it back to make it harder. Like so. Again, you've not got as much control. It's about how long you press down the button, etc. So, and you haven't got a number to tell you how loose, what percentage of looseness you've got. So it's not a great one for fine control. But if you just want a quick way of loosening something up, there's that. Now, both those ways that I've shown you do not affect thermo. The object, because it can be changed dynamically during the game, it contains all the information for looseness within the object, and therefore there is no advantage to thermo to making it loose in this way. The only way to make the Fleck loose and it affects thermo, so makes the thermo go down, then you need to use the sculpture detail tool, and this will make your object loose, but it will also affect the thermo and make this less thermo because of it. So the best way of making objects loose, if you're wanting it to affect the thermo on your level, is to use this tool. And again, we can go we can go the other way and add plus, and we can make it firmer. And you can go the even firmer with this. You know, the redder it goes, you see that thermo's going up to 8. Look at that. 25. That is really, really dense now. That is really thermo heavy for this block. Okay, let's delete that and put a new one in. Right, so let's have a look at the tool. This is the Looseness tool. Now, I have never used this. I've never seen a reason to do looseness from here. I just assumed that it worked the same way as the one in style mode, possibly. And so I've never really played about with it, and I've never really touched it. And for the purposes of doing this tutorial, I had to have a play with it and see what it did. And to start off with, I couldn't work it out. So if you click on looseness, you get this wireframe shape, which is the shape we've chosen here. So you can change it to a sphere, for example. And so I thought, okay, I'll make this object. I'm pressing the R2 button, pressing the X button. Absolutely nothing is happening. And it's like, well, it doesn't work. I don't understand. What does this do? And it appears that there is a second step to choosing this tool. You choose the tool, then you have to press L1 and square, and then you have to choose the looseness. Like so. So now I've chosen looseness, and now you can see as I hover over my shape, it's acting like a brush. Now all the other looseness tools does the entire object. This one acts as a brush, so you can do little bits of the object like this. And you can use surface snap, that makes it nice and easy. And there you can loosen up little bits of it, so you can put designs in, you can create texture. I had absolutely no idea that this was available, and it would have made a huge difference to me making distressed objects and things like this. Let me just show you how this is a really cool effect. So I'm going to go into a smear mode, and I'm going to cut out a bit of this square like this, and then I'm going to choose my looseness tool, and I'm going to put the looseness down to nothing. So this is going to firm up all of these edges, as you can see. So that's what it would normally look like when I cut it out. And now I can put the looseness up, to full, and then go inside where I've cut, and look at that. And then I can do some looseness on the outside of this, and now you know that is a much better effect. You've got the hardness and the softness here. It's brilliant. You can do all sorts of wonderful textures on objects using this brush, and I had absolutely no idea that it existed. So you can do it both ways. So we've got soft, and you've got levels of soft, and if you take all the looseness down, you can then harden it up like that. And therefore we got an object with lots of different textures on it. I had no clue. I had no idea that people had this tool, and I'm so pleased to have found it. So there you go. Have a play with this. So you can create some amazing effects. Look at that. So I'm just hardening that off, so my original cuts and everything are now more visible in amongst all that softness, and you get some amazing effects. Just to look at the tool here, but this is to do with the object that you're sculpting with. Don't forget, you need to put the looseness up, or you can't see it. So I can put rings on there. Rings of softer fleck, and it can texturize your object. You've also got soft blend, so I can put soft blend up, and I can deform with the soft blend. So we can do it with a hard blend, or we can do it with a soft blend. So it's worth experimenting with it to see what sort of effects you can get So we've got soft blend and hardness. So there you go. It's a softer effect. Look at that. There we go. I'm pretty amazed with it. So those three, and then this is to do with the shape that you're doing. So some of these shapes have sections, and you can change that on the object. But these two, play about with them. You can change with a brush the soft blend and the looseness on that object to create a more interesting texture. That's a revelation to me. I had no idea that existed, and that's going to change everything for me. So I hope that was useful for you as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in your dreams.